All right, good morning, guys. So today we'll start JMeter scripting. So let me mark it here, 9th August. Okay. So what are the steps, before you record the script? So today we'll start with DemoBlaze user registration script. User registration script, okay? So this is the first script that I am going to cover. And now let me show the, before recording any script, first manually navigate through the application. So make it as a practice or make it as a habit. Okay. So go to the website and first check whether your application is working fine. Okay. So these are the transactions, isn't it? So once you click on this link, this is your home page or index page, isn't it? This is your home page or index page. And the script that we are going to do today is user registration. Let me show you here. Observe here. I gave the sheet name as DemoBlaze1 user registration, isn't it? You saw the sheet name over there, right? And now, before recording the script, first manually navigate through the application and be thorough with the steps. Okay. Because of course, here we have only 6 transactions, but any real-time application will have 10 to 15 transactions. So you should be thorough with the flow. Understood, guys? So first manually navigate through the application. First navigate to DemoBlaze homepage and then click sign up now. And once you click sign up now, user registration page will be displayed. And now enter profile details and click continue. So first click sign up now and you will get a registration page. This is registration page, isn't it? And now I'll give it here as I'll give the name as so 9/8 and done. So I'm just giving using today's date. Okay. So when you are doing registration, use your name, guys. You can use your name. Please don't use, this name. Right? So please leave that for me. And then, so password, I will keep it as password 9/8. And now click on sign up. Now you should see this is a pop-up that came up, isn't it? We call this as pop-up. And what is that pop-up saying? It's saying sign up successful. Click OK over there. Right? And then if you want to confirm whether that user registration is successful or not, just simply follow the scripting scenario sheet. So once you click enter profile details and click continue, application displays a confirmation message that user registration is done, isn't it? And now click login button to login now. So and now enter that username and password, enter the credentials. So what is the username I gave? Training 9/8, isn't it? Password I gave password as capital P small a SSWORD 9/8. And now you can see that user logged in successfully, isn't it? Enter credentials to log in and user logs into the application and application displays a welcome message. So when you prepare a scripting scenario sheet, you need to prepare like this. Okay. If someone asks you to prepare, our scripting scenario sheet, right? So you need to prepare like this in a detailed way, right? And then log out. Right now it is confirmed that user registration is successful and now log out from the application. So we understood the flow, isn't it? Now let us start the script recording. Once you understand the flow, make sure that all the steps are working fine first. Make sure that there are no functional issues and you are clear on the transactions. Okay. And now let's start recording our first script. Okay. So let me update in the tracker sheet. So the script that I am going to start is DemoBlaze user registration, right? And once you launch JMeter, you will have a test plan element by default, isn't it? Observe here, you have a test plan element by default. And if you see, there is a conical flask symbol over there. Before the test plan, there is a conical flask symbol, isn't it? So
Yes,
let me take, right? So this is a solution, basically, that is a solution. Okay. In LoadRunner, we call it as a project or a solution. You remember that? Those who did LoadRunner, so they use the term solution. For instead of project, they use the term solution in LoadRunner. So this is what JMeter also means, right? So now to this, so there will be a test plan element by default. isn't it? So what is a test plan? Test plan is the core element of any JMeter script, right? So what is a test plan? So test plan is a core element of any JMeter script. So let me show you, we have one dedicated slide for test plan. Right. So what is a test plan? Test plan is the core element of a JMeter script. All other JMeter elements come under test plan. So test plan is the parent element and all other elements come under below that test plan. Clear guys? And test plan controls the execution flow and instructs her to how to run the thread group elements, right? How to run the thread group elements. Okay. So what is meant by thread group now? So thread group means nothing but a script. Okay. Let me write it down here. Test plan means nothing but project, your project name. Okay. Thread group means your script. That's your script. Clear guys? What is a script? In the last session, we discussed that we will be creating one script for each of these business flow, right? Each script represents one business flow. Clear guys? Now, thread group means nothing but a script. What is this thread? Thread is nothing but a user. In JMeter, thread is nothing but user or virtual user. Okay. User or virtual user. We call it as VU. Okay. Where VU stands for virtual user. What is virtual user? I think we already discussed that in fundamentals, right? And by the way, I had shared the playlist URL also this morning again, because we have some new joinees. I had shared the playlist URL so of this batch. So please go through them this weekend. Please complete them this weekend. Those who joined late into the batch or those who missed fundamental sessions, please try to complete as many as possible by following the playlist URL. Once you click on the playlist URL, you will see all the recorded sessions of this batch. Okay. Those who, those, if you cannot complete all these, right? So most of you joined when I am covering performance testing fundamentals, isn't it? Those who cannot complete all these, right? So you please start from, I'll tell you the date, please start from that session. You need to start from July 30th, guys. Those who joined late into the batch, please start from July 30th. Previous sessions are theory part, you can go through them later on. Clear guys? Start from 30th to understand scripting. If you, right? So from 30th, you have how many sessions you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions, isn't it? Each session will be 40 to 50 minutes. Okay. So please complete this, those who joined late into the batch or, those who missed previous sessions. Clear guys? Please start from July 30th so that, by Monday, you should be on the same page with others. From Monday onwards, I will be giving assignments in the Google Classroom, and those who are not working on the assignments will not be allowed into the next session. Understood, guys? I'll be giving assignments. If you don't want to receive assignments or if you don't have time to work on the assignments, please let me know. I'll remove from the Google Classroom. You can still attend the training. But if you cannot work on the scripts, so please let me know. I'll exclude you from the Google Classroom. Okay. So నాకు assignments కావాలి నేను script submit చేయను అంటే no. Clear guys? Agree with me or no?
Sir.
Yeah. So please let me know if you don't want to, if you cannot work on the assignments, please let me know. I'll exclude you from the Google Classroom. Okay. And we will be reviewing your scripts, guys. There is a lot of effort in that. Okay. So let me add a, this sheet to do that script review. Script review. This is for DemoBlaze, first application, right? So let me show you the previous batch tracker. Okay. I think I had explained yesterday, isn't it? So we do the script review and we will highlight the mistakes that you are doing, right? So this is very much time taking and it involves a lot of effort, guys, but still we are doing because, so, like you have to be perfect from the first application onwards. Okay. So మేము script చేసే టైంలో ఇంకో batch run చేయొచ్చు actually. We can run another batch, right? It will take at least 5 minutes at least to review each script, 5 to 10 minutes. I need to download your scripts. I need to take care of the test data, and then I need to review it, right? So it will take 5 to 10 minutes for each script. So if you have 30 members, just imagine how much time it will take, right? So those who are not submitting the scripts will not be allowed for the next session from Tuesday onwards. So today I'm going to give this scripting and first scripting assignment. Clear, guys? If you cannot work on the script for any reason, if you don't have time or if you are not interested, please let me know. You can simply, get excluded from the Google Classroom and you can escape from assignments, right? So mark kuda review చేయాల్సిన scripts kuntakte. All right. Now let us record the script now. So to this test plan, we have a test plan element by default in JMeter, right? To record a script, there are multiple ways to record a script. There are different ways or multiple ways to record a script, right? So let me show you that. We can use JMeter provides some default templates and we can use those templates. That is one way. See, you see here different ways to create a JMeter script. So these are the different ways. There are these many ways to create a JMeter script. First one is use JMeter native template or default templates. By using the default or native templates or default templates in JMeter. And where the default templates will be there is, if you go to file and below that new, see, this is what is this called as, guys, by the way? One second, let me highlight it. So what is this part called as? That is called as a menu bar. So in the coming up sessions, if I say menu bar, immediately you have to look into this. Okay, this is called as menu bar, and this is called as, let me draw one more box. So this is called as control panel. This is test plan control panel. Okay, what is the purpose of this? It controls the text execution. It controls, see, we have some options here. Observe here. Run thread groups consecutively, run tear down thread groups, right? And then functional test mode. There are some options over here to control the execution, isn't it? So your test plan, your control panel will contain the controls to manage or, to control the test plan elements. Clear, guys? And now, where are my templates? Observe here, we have one template here. See, if you go to menu bar and go to file, there is something called templates, isn't it? You click on that templates, or else there is an icon over here for templates. In the menu bar, there is an icon over here, right? So click on the templates and you'll get a window like this and select a recording template. Select recording template. Now, what is a template, guys? In software, what is a template? You know that, guys? Most of you know that. What is a template?
Predefined document.
What is a template, guys?
It is a ready-made layout where it is kept for use.
Right. So it is a ready-made thing that is kept for instant use, isn't it? So you see here, a template allows developers to save time by creating a standardized framework. We can save some time by using those templates, isn't it? So now I'm selecting, remember, I'm selecting recording template and click on create. And now ignore these, or else, you can keep it here, like what you can do is, hold on. So what is our application URL? Where is our application URL? Did I close it?
Yes, sir, you closed.
Is the batch consideration here. So I'm copying this URL from here and I'm giving it here. I'm giving it here. Okay. HTTPS-demoblaze.com. Got it. And now scheme to record is HTTPS. By default, it is HTTPS. Our application is also HTTPS only. So keep it as it is. Okay. So this application is also a HTTPS application, isn't it? Now, and what is this recording output file, right? By default, you have file name as recording.xml, isn't it? We need to change the name. We'll do it later. So enter the URL, update the URL and just click on create. Click on create. Now the template is loaded into your JMeter. Now the template is loaded into your JMeter. Okay. Now let us update this test plan. Test plan is nothing but what is your test plan? What is meaning of a test plan? Project name, right? What is
sir.
our project name?
DemoBlaze.
Assume that this is DemoBlaze, your application name or your project name. Okay. Give that name over here. And what is the thread group? What is the meaning of a thread group? I just explained just now.
Script, sir.
Script.
This is nothing but a script, isn't it? What is our script name? What are we going to do now?
User creation.
User registration or account creation, isn't it? So give that name here in the place of thread group, give that name here. And now if you click on save, right, observe here, if you click on save, it is asking, it is giving an option to save, right? So what I will do is I'll create a folder for your batch. Okay. So in my E drive, I'm going to create a folder for your batch. Okay. So when you are practicing, don't create a form. So I'll create a folder with the name as July 2024 batch. Okay. When you are practicing, don't create a folder like this because I have multiple batches. I am creating like this case. When you are creating a folder, create a folder with your project name. Okay. Just like this. Inside that, I will create another folder with the project name or your application name. So the application name is DemoBlaze, isn't it? So inside that, I will create another folder for the script. I'll create another folder for the script called user registration. Right? Now I'll save my script inside this folder. Copy the path now and go to your JMeter and save it. And now first go to that path, right? And then remove this full path. I want to give the script name. So basically remove that path here. Once you go to that folder, see, observe here, I am in that folder now. Whatever I have created now in E drive, July 2024 batch, DemoBlaze user registration. And there, give the script name as user reg for registration, right? So now observe here under user registration. So this is your script name, isn't it? Let me give it here. Okay. This is my script name, isn't it? There is a comment section. You can write anything over here. Okay. There is a comment section and you can write anything over here, right? And now this is my script name. That's why I mentioned it as script name. And now below that, if you expand that, see, observe here. You see the script is represented by a gear symbol. You see that there is a gear symbol over there. That is a gear symbol. Okay.
Yes,
is it visible or should I zoom in? Right now you see gear symbol for script name. For project, you see a solution, conical flask symbol, right? Did you hear that? Or do you remember that? What is a conical flask?
To mix two solutions.
Sorry.
Solutions, yeah.
Conical flask. Did you hear that? Already conical flask on word.
Chemistry లో ఉంటుంది. Practicals, chemistry practicals.
Chemistry lo untadi, right?
Yes,
We
sir.
heard that we came across in that chemistry, right? Maybe in your intermediate or 10th class you came across.
Intermediate.
Okay. So అవి కాకుండా ఇంకేమైనా గుర్తున్నాయా కెమిస్ట్రీలో అవి? Anyone remember periodic table?
Yes, sir. You know.
Huh?
I know, sir.
No?
Yeah.
How many elements are there? You know that at least?
119.
119. Okay. How many can you tell now?
Huh?
I can tell first 50 now.
Okay. Hydrogen,
Huh?
helium, lithium. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine, neon, sodium, potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium.
Sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, calcium. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron,
Manganese,
cobalt,
ferrous,
nickel,
cobalt, nickel,
copper,
copper,
zinc.
zinc.
Someone is saying yes. Go ahead. Huh? Okay. Anyways, so this is so now this is our script name and this is your project name, isn't it? Project name or your application name, right? And then Now I want to now below that, there is something called recording controller, right? Remove that recording controller. I'm not going to use that recording controller. I'll explain you later. Okay. And I want to record a script now, right? This is the beauty of performance testing. We are not going to write any code from scratch. We are going to record the script. Your JMeter tool is going to record the script. Okay. So for that, we need an element called HTTPS test script recorder. That is there by default in the template, isn't it? So template is the for some instant usage, isn't it? So I can use template, as a ready-made or instant usage for your instant usage. Just give me a moment. All right. So, but you observe there, that HTTPS test script recorder element, right? See why did I go to their chemistry elements? Is these are called as in JMeter, these are called as elements of a JMeter or test plan. Elements of a JMeter test plan. Right, that's why I remembered that chemistry elements. Okay, and so if you observe here, this element is disabled by default, isn't it? If you want to enable it, use Control T. If you want to enable it, you either right click and use enable, right? So this is how so you either right click and click enable, or else use Control T. Okay, now what is the T? What is the T stands for toggle. Okay. T stands for toggle. Toggle means, what is meant by toggle? Toggle means it is a on-off switch. On-off switch. Okay. It works like an on and off switch. That means if some element is enabled, it will disable it. If it is disabled, it will enable it. Understood, guys? So remember, T stands for toggle there. Control T, use Control T. Now if it is enabled now, suppose if you want to disable again, use Control T on that. Right, it will disable. It will be disabled. If an element is already enabled, it will be disabled. Clear, guys? Now, if you expand that, there is an element called view results tree. Under that, there is another element called view results tree. Okay. Now observe here. You saw this anytime? Recording.xml. When we are loading the template, we saw that name, isn't it? So that is that name here. That is the see by default there is some XML file here. Now let me update this. Now what is this XML? Recording.xml is, right? By the way, what is XML? What is the full form of XML?
Extendable markup language.
Extensible markup language. What is the purpose of XML?
Store and transfer data.
Right. So XML is used for storing and transporting data, right? And there is also something called JSON.
Yes,
I think we missed it in the performance testing fundamental session, right? I think I did not cover this in this batch in the performance testing fundamentals, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, guys. So, like, hold on. So what is XML is XML stands for, first of all, extensible markup language. So XML files, what is the purpose of XML file is to store and transport data basically, right? JSON is also there for storing and transporting data, but where, there is 1 second. Right. So this is one of the important interview questions, XML and JSON. What is the difference between XML and JSON? This is one of the important interview questions. So first of all, XML means extensible markup language. XML was designed to store and transport data, right? XML was designed to be both human and machine readable. Okay, this is not important, but remember this statement. What happened? XML was designed to store and transport data, right? Right. Next is JSON. Next thing you need to know is JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript object notation. Okay. And JSON is also, JSON is also used for storing and transporting data. JSON is also used for storing and transporting data. Sorry. Right. Now, what is the difference between XML and JSON? This is one of the important interview questions or one of the important concepts. What is it? What is the difference between XML and JSON?
Yeah.
So this is one of the important concept to learn or one of the important interview question. Okay. So how do you answer this now?
So you just giving us suggestion every new flavor. At least
JSON
What
is
is the
a key value pair, JSON.
JSON is a key value pair. No, what is the, I'm asking what is the difference between XML and JSON? Okay, let me explain. Huh?
Exchanging data, structuring and exchanging data by some keys.
Both XML and JSON are used to store and transport data, right? Store and transport data. So, however, don't use the word but. Okay, please don't use the word but. Okay, you know, like it is a wrong word in a US context. Okay, so I did some video on this. You know, some you know commonly used wrong words that we use in Indian English context, and you know what is the alternate for that, right? So, and there is one video available on one recorded session available on my YouTube channel. Let me share it. Okay, so please go through it. I'll share it in your WhatsApp group. Please go through that. So don't use, you should not use the word but in US context. Okay, mostly, you know, why US came here. Most of the projects you will be working will be US projects. Okay, and most of the clients will be US clients. So be mindful of, you know, what you are speaking. Clear, guys? So I made one video, short video recorded session on some do's and don'ts, which terms we should not use, and what are the alternate terms for that. So please go through that. I'm sharing that recorded session in your WhatsApp group. Okay. So click a like if you like the video. So someone is clicking dislike to my JMeter demo session. I'll show you. I told you right yesterday we have some well-wishers in the market. So they are clicking dislike to my one of them clicked dislike to my JMeter video. I don't know, you know. So it would be good if they explain what they didn't like. I uploaded this as a public video, right? So you see here. So there is one dislike. Okay, those are my well-wishers. They'll keep me alert and they'll keep me, you know, like more focused and more alert. and tomorrow we are starting one new batch, one new course. Okay, so with their encouragement, with their dislike, I got you know, motivated, and I'm starting a new course tomorrow for Splunk and Dynatrace. All right. So where are we, guys? Yeah. So both XML and JSON are used to store and transport data. However, JSON is lightweight format. JSON is lightweight format. Sorry, guys, I missed this. Usually, I used to cover this in the fundamental sessions. JSON is lightweight format. Now, what is the meaning of lightweight format? Okay. See, just now we discussed that both are used to store and transport data, right? In the next slide, I gave you some example, right, of how XML stores data and how JSON stores data. Or else, how does the data look like if it is stored in XML format and JSON format? See, the first one is JSON example. Okay. The next one is the XML example. And if you observe here, in both these examples, I have the details of first and last name of 3 employees. Understood, guys? If you observe this example, we have first name and last name of 3 different employees. Clear, guys? So if it is stored in JSON format, this is how it looks like. And if it is stored in, if an application is using XML format, this is how it looks like. This is how the code looks like. And now if you observe here, I'm copying that XML code and I am going to one website to count the number of characters. Okay. There is a website called CharacterCountOnline.com. And if you go to that website and if you see that how many characters are there here, there are a total of 286 characters here, isn't it? Now if the same data, see, but you know, this is the data of 3 employees. That's it. First name and last name of 3 employees. That's it. Okay. Now, if you see the same data if the application stores the same data in JSON format, this is how it will be. Okay. And now if you see the count, see, remember this count. Okay. Remember the previous count. How much is that? 286, isn't it? Now, you know, I want to measure, I want to count how many characters are there in the JSON format. Now see how many characters are there. It's just 146, isn't it? It is just 146. It is almost 50% of that. Yes or no? Right? That is what lightweight format means. It requires less number of characters. Okay, if an application uses JSON for storing data. That is the main difference between XML and JSON. After JSON came into the market, XML has become outdated. Okay, XML has become outdated. And all applications are using JSON only now. All your mobile applications, websites, they are using JSON if they want to store and transport data from one place to another place. Clear, guys? So this is one of the important interview concepts. What is the difference between XML and JSON? Important interview questions, FAQ, right? So we used to give star mark, right? So we can give 4 or 5, 6 stars or 10 stars like this for this question, right? Now we know this. There is an record. Of course, we'll use XML file. That's fine. We are not transporting data to anywhere. We'll use XML. Okay, or else you can use JSON also. That's fine, right? But by default, XML file will be there. Let us use that. And I want to change this name. So I want to give the script name here. Okay, because we are going to create multiple scripts. We are going to record multiple scripts. In each project, there will be 10 to 15 scripts. Okay, so what I will do is I'll give the script name here, user registration underscore recording.xml. I will call it as user registration underscore recording.xml. Now, what is the purpose of this XML file is when you record the script now, right? That, we get some response from the server, right? Yes or no? When we record the script now, when we are going to record the script, means how you record the script, you open a browser and navigate through the application. So when you are navigating through the application, you will get some response from the server, right? That response will be stored in this XML file. Okay. So we call this as a recording log. We'll call this file as recording log. Okay. I mentioned it here, or else, I'll write it over here. Okay. Keep it here. That's fine. We'll call this as recording log. Okay. Now let me save it. And one more thing. Suppose, if you don't specify the path of this XML file, by default, it will be saved in JMeter bin folder. Meeru ee file ekkada save, and one more thing, observe here. Below that, above that, there is something called write results to file, isn't it? Write results to file means when you are getting, when JMeter gets response from the server, that response will be stored into this XML file. That is what it means. Write result to file means. Okay. What results will be stored into that? Your server response will be stored into this. Okay. Into this recording log. Server response. Right? When I say server response, what does a response contain? Server response contains response body, and you remember we discussed about this. We discussed response structure. Hello. Yes. So what does this recording log saves, guys? It saves your server response. When you say server response, what does the response contain? Response body. So see, we discussed about request structure and response structure, right? In one of the previous sessions, isn't it? When did we discuss that? This one, HTTP request and response, or no? Did we discuss that, guys, or no? See, here it is, request structure and response structure on 1st August, right? So please go through that recorded session, guys, if you don't remember it. Request structure and response structure consists of 3 parts, isn't it? What does a request structure contain? Yes, Vamsi. What does a request structure contain? I asked request structure.
Request body, request.
Request structure contains request headers. Okay. Request body. Cookies. First part. What is that first part? Request line. That is something called as request line. It consists of. What does request line consist of? First part consists of.
Method.
Request method, protocol, right? URI or request method and then URI and protocol. isn't it? So let me show that once. Let me show that slide once. Okay, request structure, guys. These are important basics, guys. Your request structure consists of first request line. Request line. Request line means request method token followed by request URI and HTTP protocol, isn't it? And this is how it looks like, right? And then next part is request headers and then request body, isn't it? Right? That's what I said, like, see, if those who joined late into the batch, please start from here. Please go through the recorded sessions from here. Right? So I asked you to start from here, July 31st session, isn't it? July 30th, where I covered this, request response cycle, request and HTTP request and HTTP response. And then somewhere here I covered that request structure and response structure. Here it is on 1st August, right? So you will come across all these concepts in the scripting sessions. Okay, you'll come across that and scripting will be easy for you. If you are good on those fundamental concepts. Clear, guys? Now, so your response consists of, yes, response body, status line. First part is status line, isn't it? Status line, response body,
Response headers.
and response headers. Right? So all that information will be saved into this XML file, guys. The server response will be stored into this XML file. Okay. And I am naming it as user registration underscore recording.xml. And now observe here, if you don't specify any path to the file, right? If you don't specify any path to the file, it will be saved in the JMeter bin folder. This XML file will be saved into the bin folder. You need not create the file. Once you start recording, JMeter will create the file for you, but it will create in JMeter bin folder. Understood, guys? Now, but I want to save this file in my script folder only. So where is my script here? My script is there in this folder. So copy the path and prefix the path to it. Prefix the path, right? Now the XML file will be saved into my script folder only, the corresponding script folder. Clear, guys? Is it easy or any confusion?
Clear, sir.
All right.
Is there any naming convention?
Yes, this is the naming convention that we are following, right? User registration underscore recording.xml.
No. I'm asking that first letter, capital letters like this, anything should be there.
Okay. Yeah. If you observe here, yeah. Thanks for asking that. So if you observe here, I gave the script name as, first letter. I am using first letter of each word should be capitalized, right? When you are giving the script name, so there are some scripting standards and naming conventions that we follow, and this is one of them. Okay. So give the script name, start the script name with capital letter, and after that each word should be capitalized. First letter of the each word should be capitalized.
Camel casing. Okay.
What is it?
Camel casing, I said.
Your voice is not clear to me. Someone I hear Prashant and someone else speaking, but I can't.
Yeah, you're right. What is it? No, I said for that it says camel casing. I said.
Camel case, correct. Yes, this is called as this is also called as camel case. Okay, we use camel case here, right? Don't use spaces. Please don't give spaces. By the way, don't give spaces. Okay, instead of that, use camel case. Now, what is a camel case? Right? So camel case, let me show you that. Why is it called as camel case? Uppercase and lowercase, right? Everyone knows lowercase and uppercase, isn't it? So now what is this camel case means? This is how it looks like. Camel case is a way to separate words in a phrase by making first word of each letter capitalized and not using spaces. So please remember, this is called as camel case. Why it is called as camel case is, this is how it looks like, right? After capitalizing each first letter of the each word, it looks like a camel. Right, that is why that is called as the camel case. Okay, lowercase, uppercase, and this is camel case. Clear, guys? Now, so don't use spaces. Instead of that, you always use camel case. It is commonly used in web URLs, programming, and computer naming conventions. Right, in JMeter also we follow this naming convention. In JMeter, whether it is JMeter or LoadRunner or any performance testing tool, whenever we have multiple words, we do, like in the script name, etc. Okay, there are some examples, guys, here. There are some examples here. Observe here. There is some image that I want to show you, right? This one, right? These are all examples of camel case. Clear case. In programming, we use like this Docker container, Kubernetes cluster, etc., right? So this is called as camel case, right? Let me copy paste that into your class notes document, okay? So to remove the formatting, I am typing into Notepad. Just to remove that formatting, I think it's not getting removed. Okay. All right. Now see here. So we are, we set a file for recording, for capturing the recording log. And now, enable this guys, by the way, enable that and observe here, in here, there is something called in the control panel of test script recorder, like you have this recording controller, isn't it? Now observe here in my script, how many transactions are there in this script guys that I want to record? We have 6 transactions, isn't it? We have 6 transactions, isn't it? Starting with the home page to logout, isn't it? So what I will do is right click on the script name and add a logic controller called transaction controller. We'll discuss what is a logic controller and all, we'll discuss that. So as I have 6 transactions, I am going to add 6 transaction controllers under that script. Okay. And I'm going to give some names here. So what I will do is, this is user registration script, isn't it? So what I will do is I'll use user registration underscore T01 for transaction, T for transaction. Okay. And home page. Again, I'm using camel case here. All right. So, and I'm using camel case here. Now, this is one transaction. Home page is my first transaction, isn't it? Now, so I will copy it. I'll copy the transaction name and I will paste it, 5 more times and I will rename it so that, I need not type the whole thing from scratch, isn't it? Now, what is the step now after home page? Click sign up now is the next step, isn't it? So I'll write it as click sign up now, right? And then what is the next transaction? Third transaction would be what is the next transaction? Enter profile details and click continue, isn't it? So I'll name this as submit registration details. Can I give like that? I need to fill the username and password, registration details, and I need to submit that details, isn't it? So I'm giving the name as submit registration details or submit form. Submit registration form on it. You can give it as submit registration form, but give some meaningful name to the transactions, because ultimately client will, once you run the test, right? In the test report, all these transaction names will be visible. So you need to follow those standards, scripting standards and naming conventions. Okay. So you need to give proper and meaningful. Your transaction name should be as small as possible and as meaningful as possible. Clear guys? Once you give that submit, what is the next transaction now after submit registration form? What is the next one? Login button to continue, isn't it? So change the transaction number and name. See, this is transaction number T04. And you can also give it as S01, S02, S03 also. Okay, some people use this S for step, right? But I prefer to give it as a transaction. Okay. In functional testing, they give it as TC for test case. Okay, that is a functional testing terminology. But here, give it as T, simple T for transaction. And why am I giving T01, 02 like that is? I told you just now, just before, couple of minutes before, I told that in every script or in any script, there will be 10 to 15 transactions, isn't it? So uniform we give 01, 02, 03 because it will be T09, T10, 11, 12. There it will be 2 digits, isn't it? So that is why, to make it uniform, we give this T01, T02 and so on. Don't give T1, T2 and if you give T1, T2 after T9, it will be T10 and there will be one more character extra there, isn't it? So to make them look uniform, we give T01, etc. And now once you submit the form, what next? Once you submit the registration form, what next?
Login.
Click login. Okay, click login. And then next one is, yes. Fifth transaction is, once you click login, what is the next step? Enter credentials to login, isn't it? So just give login here. Once you enter credentials, you click login button, isn't it? So we give login here. Give the transaction name as login here. Okay. Previously, we click on login option. That is why to indicate that you CLK or CLICK. Anything is fine. Okay. Use CLK or CLICK. But here give it as login. So this is click login option. And then here we are logging in actually. Understood, guys? And then the last and final transaction is logout. So give that name as T06 logout. And now save the script
Sir,
once.
what about general parent sample?
What is it?
option? General parent sample opting.
I'll explain that later. Okay. So now, like we need to select this generate parent sample, right? So you'll understand that what is the generate parent sample. We'll discuss that later. Okay. Now save the script once. Okay. Whenever you make some significant changes, right? Save the script once. So what happens is when you save the script, some backup file will be created in the JMeter folder. Observe here. In JMeter folder, there is another subfolder called backups, isn't it? See, observe here. Till now, for this script, 5 backup files are created today, isn't it? 5 backup files are created today, isn't it? So that's why, whenever you make some significant changes, more changes, save it once, right? And now once you move on, now here, go to the test script recorder, change the, in the target controller, by default recording controller will be there. We start with the home page. So keep home page here. Select that, transaction here and select do not group samplers. I'll explain this one also later. Okay. I'll explain what is this grouping policy and all later. And now select naming scheme as prefix. For now, please remember this, that you need to select under grouping, select do not group samplers, and under naming scheme, select prefix and save the script one more time. Okay. Now our template is ready for recording a script now. And our script folder is also ready. We had created one script folder, isn't it? Now JMeter part is ready. Now to record a script, to record a JMeter script, right? Or shall we do one thing? Shall we try recording once? We'll try recording once. Okay. Click on the test script recorder and click the start button to record a script. Right? Click the start button to record a script. Clear, guys? Now for recording a script, we are going to use some browser, isn't it? We are going to use some browser to record a script, isn't it? Now, let's say I'm going to use Firefox browser. Okay. I'm going to use a Firefox browser for recording. But how does JMeter know that, which browser I want to record or which browser I am recording? I want to, use for recording. JMeter doesn't know that, right? Right? So we need to tell JMeter, and to tell that, what we will do is open Firefox browser. Okay. And observe here, in the test plan creation, see, observe here, there is some port number for JMeter, isn't it? By default, there is a port number. Hey, they are using some good fancy number, right? 8888. They reserved some fancy number for this JMeter. So you need to use the same port number in your browser. What is the purpose of that? This is to tell JMeter that we are going to use Firefox for recording. As simple as that. Understood, guys? So how to tell that is, or how to set is, you go to settings in your Firefox browser, okay, and type XY here, type XY, and go to network settings. Click on this settings, right? And now observe here, by default, no proxy will be there by default. By default, no proxy will be there. You need to select manual proxy configuration, and you need to enter the same port number here, okay? And here you need to enter localhost. We need to enter localhost here, and then we need to enter the port number of JMeter here and select this. Also use this proxy for HTTPS. Understood, guys? And now once you do this, click OK here, right? So now what did we actually, what we did is we are setting, JMeter, we are setting as a JMeter as a proxy between your browser and server. What is that? In this way, by using the same port number of JMeter in the browser, we are setting JMeter as a proxy between browser and server. What does that mean? Why do we need to do that? Right? So let me explain that. Okay. So what is that? What actually we did there by using the same port number? We are setting JMeter as a mediator between your browser and server. Assume that this is your server. If you assume that this box is your server and this is your browser, okay, we are making JMeter sit in between them and make it work as a proxy. Okay, why should we do that? Why should we do that is you will understand soon. Okay, hold on. So what next is? Once you set the port number, anything else? We'll try that. Let us try to record the script. Okay. But let me explain this concept first. Okay, proxy concept. So what is a proxy server? A proxy server is a component which inserts between you and the remote server. You means browser here. We are going to use browser for recording, isn't it? So to record the script, we need to set JMeter as a proxy between browser and server. Okay. So that then only any communication between the server and the browser goes through the proxy. I'll do one thing. Let me stop my screen share. Okay. Let me share whiteboard. Seeing my whiteboard? Seeing whiteboard, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now what we are going to do is we are going to open a browser, Firefox browser. Assume that this is your Firefox browser. Okay. Firefox browser. And assume that this box is Firefox browser. And this is your server. Which server? That BlazeDemo server. Okay. We are going to record a script on BlazeDemo application, isn't it? Huh? What is that? Sorry. DemoBlaze, sorry. DemoBlaze application. DemoBlaze application is running on one server, right? Yes or no? See, I had already explained you about web application architecture. Any web application consists of web server, app server, DB server, isn't it? So your application is running on some server in US or somewhere. Somewhere it is running over there, right? And now when you are now what are we going to do is when we are recording a script, like we are sending a request, we'll send a request from browser to server and server will send some response, isn't it? Server will send some response. Now, what actually we are doing here by using same port number is we are inserting that JMeter in between them. We are actually inserting that JMeter in between this browser and server. Okay. By using the same port number. By using same port number of JMeter in the browser, we are inserting that JMeter between browser and server. Now what happens is if you are sending some request from a browser, right? Your request goes via JMeter. Your request goes through JMeter because you made the port number to be same. Yes or no? JMeter lo port number 8888 is the default port number. అదే పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ ని JMeter లో వాడడం బ్రౌజర్ లో వాడడం ద్వారా ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ దట్ ట్రాఫిక్ గో త్రూ JMeter. వీఆర్ making that traffic means here HTTP traffic, network traffic, or we are making that request go through JMeter. Now why it should go through JMeter? Then only JMeter will be able to record that request and response. Okay. If your request and response flows via JMeter will capture the traffic and create the script for you. And that is the actual reason of doing a proxy setting here. Okay. Understood or no?
Yes, sir.
So when you are sending a request, it goes through JMeter. When server sends the response, it comes through JMeter. And now JMeter will, it will not keep quiet, right? It will record that. It will record or it will capture the request and response and it will create a script. So that is how JMeter works. Is it clear? Right? Now I have a question here for those who attended LoadRunner. Some people completed LoadRunner training, right? So Kamesh and Anil, Vamsi completed, Kamesh, నిద్ర వస్తుందా నేను చెప్తా ఉంటే? So I have a question here. So in JMeter, we need to do this proxy setting, right? Guys, those who are not aware of LoadRunner, please ignore the discussion, okay? Don't get confused, right? Now I have a question for those who already learned LoadRunner, who are LoadRunner experts here. We have some LoadRunner experts here, Kamesh and Satish and Anil and Vamsi, right? So did we do any proxy setting in LoadRunner? Then how LoadRunner is able to record the script then? Right. So the way LoadRunner works is completely different actually. In LoadRunner, there is a file called bbhook.dll. If you go to views folder, there will be a file called bbhook.dll. That file will record the script. It will hook to the application and record the script. Okay. Remember this. This was asked in one of the interviews. In LoadRunner, there will be a file called bbhook.dll. It will hook to the LoadRunner. It will hook to the application and record that script. I'll show you that file. Once I stop my whiteboard sharing, I'll show that. Okay. So coming back to this, JMeter, this is how JMeter will be able to record the script, guys. Understood? Now, once you use the same port number, right? Your request will go through JMeter and your response also will come from browser. It will come to browser through JMeter. JMeter will be recording the communication at that time, right? So, and this is the reason why we need to do proxy setting, guys, right? So many people don't know even those who are working on JMeter doesn't know this. Why should we do that setting, proxy setting? But this is the actual proxy. This is the actual reason for that. Clear, guys? Now I am stopping my whiteboard sharing, right? Any queries, guys, before I'm going to close the whiteboard? So any queries before this? So I'll do one thing. I'll write it here. I see some people taking running notes in the class, let me also write here. What are these lines actually? So this line represents a request, right? This line represents request and this line represents response. You can write this, note this down. Okay. You can note down this, sorry. You can note down this if you are taking running notes. Okay. This line represents this line. Okay. This pink line represents request and this line represents response. Okay. And here we are using DemoBlaze application, not only DemoBlaze. Whatever application you are using tomorrow, if you are recording your project, right? That will be the server here, isn't it? So, but you'll be using some browser. By the way, suppose you are using Firefox browser, this is the procedure. So if you want to use Chrome browser, you need to do this proxy setting in the Chrome browser. Or if you want to use Edge browser, whatever, it doesn't matter what browser you are using. If you want to use JMeter, you need to do this proxy setting. Okay. And the options vary slightly. Okay. We'll see that in Chrome and Edge also later on. Is this clear, guys? Shall I close the whiteboard? Guys, this is very important online, folks. This is very important concept. In interviews, they will ask you, why should we do proxy setting? Right? Particularly if you keep LoadRunner, they will ask this question. Right? So LoadRunner, we don't do any proxy setting, but in JMeter, we do that. Why? Or what actually we are doing there by doing that proxy setting, isn't it? So proxy means a mediator. Okay. So of course, proxy gurinchi nenu meeku cheppavasam ledhu. You have a lot of stories, right? So, so here proxy means mediator. Okay. Shall I stop my whiteboard sharing?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it clear, guys? Is it clear now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. All right. Now I am sharing my Zoom screens. So clear, guys, and that is what it is represented here, guys. This is, assume that this red color box is your JMeter. You set JMeter as a mediator between your browser and server. Clear, guys? Assume that this is your server, the computer with the clock symbol, assume that as a server, and assume this is your browser. And now if they want to communicate with each other, they are communicating through a proxy in between, right? you read that, you read that message over here. I found that, that picture as interesting one. That's why I kept it here, right? And by doing this, what is happening? Any communication between server and the browser goes through proxy. Server and, I'll do one thing here, browser and done. Okay, that will be more elaborate. Clear this? Now let us see how this works. Okay. Now, shall we start recording the script? We'll start recording the script and see what happens. Request filtering. Yes. There is one more step for recording called request filtering. Okay. So what is this request filtering? Okay. What is this request filtering? And observe here in request filtering, there are some URL patterns to explode. I'll explain this later on. Okay. I'll start recording now. Let me start recording and let me show you the script recording process. Click on start button. And every time you start recording, you will get this window root CS certificate is created in the JMeter bin directory, isn't it? Every time you start recording, suppose I stopped it. And again, if you click on start recording, observe here, again, you got that window, isn't it? I took a screenshot of that and let me explain that. Okay, because that window will disappear after some time. So let me go to that screenshots folder and let me explain that. You need to understand that. What is that root CS certificate? Okay, so where it will be pictures, screenshots. Yeah, here it is. So every time you start JMeter, right, you will get this, that window. Like, what is that? Root CS certificate is created in JMeter bin directory. Observe here. What is it saying? What is it saying? Root CS certificate, Apache JMeter temporary root CA created in the JMeter bin directory. You can install it following instructions in component reference documentation, etc. And by default, the certificate validity is only 7 days. Sorry, it is I had modified it, but by default, the certificate validity is only 7 days. Now, what is this certificate? Right? What is this JMeter root CA certificate? Okay, let me explain that. Just now I told that we are to record the script. Hold on, just give me a moment. See, to record a script, is it lost or yeah. So to record a script, we had set JMeter in between your browser and server, right? Right. But server will know that. Server will know that some component has been installed or inserted between browser and server. Okay, when you are sending a request from a browser and it goes to the server, and server will identify that some component is inserted in between. It will not allow that. Your server will not allow that, right? So to allow that happen, but if it doesn't allow, we cannot record the script, isn't it? So to make that happen, you need to, when you start JMeter, when you start recording, it is showing some root CS certificate, right? That certificate should be imported in the browser. That root CS certificate should be imported in the browser. Okay. So you may ask me let us see, let's do one thing. I'll try to record a script without, without caring about that. Okay. Without bothering about that. First, I will try to record a script and let's see what happens. Shall we try to record it once without adding that certificate? First, we'll try it once. We'll give a try, right? So we are not launching any rocket, right? So let it fail. Let the recording fail. Start recording. Click on start recording. Click OK here. And now you'll get a window like this. Drag it down. Drag that window down, right? And now open your browser. Open your Firefox browser. Suppose I want to use the Firefox browser. Open your Firefox browser. By the way, don't use a normal browser, but use a private browser. Always use a private browser for recording. So please remember this. Always use a private browser for recording. Okay, I'll explain why. In tomorrow's session, I'll explain why. Okay. Now, once you launch the browser, right? Once you launch the browser, where is your application URL? This is your application URL, isn't it? demoblaze.com. This is your application URL. Or else you can copy it from the scripting scenario sheet. Okay. That is there here. And now, or you type it. Just remember it, demoblaze.com. That is your application URL, isn't it? Now, once you hit enter, right? Once you hit enter, you got that page now, isn't it? The page is loaded now. right? Now let's go to JMeter and see, what did it record? Observe here. It has recorded a lot of unwanted URLs. Observe here. Contile.services.mozilla.com, Mozilla.net, and Google APIs.com. It has recorded a lot of unwanted browser related requests, isn't it? But where is my application URL? My application URL is demoblaze.com. Where is that? Let us see where is that. So let's go one by one and see. See, observe here, JMeter has recorded something, isn't it? What did it record? Recorded a lot of URLs, isn't it? Yes or no? And let us see what are all those URLs. See, all these are browser related URLs. Observe here, mozilla.org. There are a lot of requests related to Mozilla, push.services.mozilla.com, etc., etc. Here it is. Now my application URL is here, demoblaze.com, isn't it? And then demoblaze.com, right? So all my application URLs are also recorded, right? So by setting JMeter as a proxy, we are able to record the traffic, or we are able to record the script, isn't it? But however, don't use the word but, however, some unwanted URLs also got recorded here, isn't it? Some unwanted URLs also got recorded here. Those are browser related URLs. And now in the recorder, you have something called request filtering, right? So this is the actual purpose of request filtering. If you don't want to record those unwanted URLs, understood guys? If you want to filter out those unwanted URLs, browser related URLs, you need to go to request filtering, right? I'll stop recording. I understood that, some unwanted or browser related URLs are getting recorded, isn't it? So I stopped recording now. Now what I will do is I'll filter all those URLs. I will filter out or I will avoid all those URLs. Okay. Or you can delete them manually also. Anything is fine. You can delete them, but there are a lot of requests, lot of unwanted URLs that we need to delete, right? So in every script they get recorded. So what we will do is we will use this request filtering tab, right, to avoid those unwanted URLs. I'm going to use this request filtering tab. Under request filtering tab, there is an option called URL patterns to exclude. There is an option called URL patterns to exclude, isn't it? That means whatever URLs you want to avoid, you mention that URL pattern here. If you mention the URL pattern here, your JMeter will not record those unwanted URLs. Clear? And this is a one-time job. Once you add those URL patterns, right? Like it will not record in any transaction. In any transaction, it will not record those unwanted URLs. Now I will share the list of those unwanted URL patterns to exclude, and later on I will explain how to prepare them. Okay. So, but there are some, observe here. What are those recorded till now? Remember this, contile.services.mozilla.com, and then mozilla.net, googleapis.com, mozilla.com, right? There are a lot of unwanted URLs that got recorded. Now I am going to use request filtering tab to filter out them. Okay. To avoid them recording into the script. See, my script, my application URL also got recorded somewhere here, isn't it? So, which one is that? 41. Okay. So here is my application URL, isn't it? But along with that, some scrap also got recorded, and I don't want that scrap, right? So what we'll do is we will add that, we will use that request filtering tab now to avoid those URLs. What I will do is first, but already see, observe here. By the way, in the recording log also all these got recorded. Observe here. All these unwanted URLs got recorded here, isn't it? Mozilla.com and Mozilla.net, isn't it? They all got recorded. So clear all. There is an option to clear all these, which is clear all. You see here, you see a broomstick symbol over there. One is clear, the other one is clear all, right? So click on clear all. Now this got, cleared off. Understood, guys? Now let me go to that, request filtering and add some URL patterns to exclude. Okay. For now, I will add those URL patterns. I already have a list of URL patterns to exclude. Let me get. So I have the list of unwanted URLs to exclude, right? I am copying all of them, right? And go to your JMeter and go to that URL patterns to exclude. And observe here, like already there are some unwanted URL patterns in the template. Where did we get these from? These are from the template. You remember we used a recording template. That is those some URL patterns are already there in the recording template. Now we want to add some more, isn't it? So I copied them from I kept it in my sticky notes. Okay, these are the unwanted URL patterns that I want to exclude. Now what I am going to is I copied there and use this option add from clipboard. Okay, let me show you that. What is the last one here in the template? Toolbar.msn.com is the last one in the default template. Already some URL patterns are there to exclude. Okay, JMeter prepared some URL patterns, but we need to add the browser related URLs because JMeter doesn't know which browser we are going to use, isn't it? So that is why we need to add those URL patterns. So I copied that and used this option add from clipboard. Now observe here after toolbar.msn.com, my browser, my Firefox related URLs are added here, isn't it? Now if you record the script, right, they should not get recorded now. All these should not get recorded. For now, what I will do is I will remove this manually. I'll delete this manually. I want to record the script again, isn't it? I want to record the script again. Okay, and I want to make sure that these unwanted URLs are not getting recorded, isn't it? Save the script once. Now start recording again. Clear this? Now start recording. Go to test plan creation and make sure that home page is selected and start recording here. Okay, and again, close the browser, click OK, and now open the browser again. And always remember to use private browser, right? And now let me enter that application URL demoblaze.com, isn't it? Then just type it demoblaze.com and hit enter. Demoblaze, right? Yeah, demoblaze.com. And now it will automatically redirect you to HTTPS. See, I did not enter HTTPS. If you don't enter HTTPS, your browser will automatically redirect you to that, right? And whenever there is a redirection, you see a response code of 3xx.
3xx.
Right. Now let us go to JMeter and see that what it recorded. See, observe here. Now we have very less number of URLs recorded, isn't it? Still, there are some, see, observe here. All these are application related now. Demoblaze.com, demoblaze.com, right? You see the server name as demoblaze.com. Is there anything related to Firefox? Is there anything related to Firefox now?
No, sir.
Nothing, right? So now we understood what is this request filtering means. We had filtered out the browser related URLs in one shot, isn't it? Wonderful, right? Now let's move on to the next script now. What is the next transaction now? What is the next transaction? Click sign up now, isn't it? Go to your test script recorder, go to test plan creation and select that click sign up now. Click sign up now. And now go to your browser and click on sign up now. And you got that pop-up, isn't it? Now go to your JMeter and see if it recorded something. See, nothing got recorded here. Observe here. How can I say that nothing got recorded? If something gets recorded, you'll see this icon. You'll see that option to expand it. Expand the tree. Yes or no? See, observe here. If you want to see, this is an element that I selected. If I click a left arrow on my keyboard, it will collapse. That structure will collapse. But if you want to expand the tree, use right arrow. I am using right arrow on my keyboard. Okay. To expand, right arrow, to collapse, left arrow. Right? Now observe here, nothing got recorded here. Then how come this window got loaded? How come this window got loaded if nothing see that? What does that mean? Nothing got recorded means no request went from browser to server. No request went from browser to server. Then how did we get this pop-up? Right. So this is a client-side activity. Actually, there is no request that went to the server. You remember we discussed that, there is a component called which web page component is responsible for this pop-up. JavaScript, right? JavaScript, there will be some JavaScript code which will bring this pop-up, these pop-ups and all, right? So JavaScript is the component, which loaded that pop-up. Okay, but no request went to the DemoBlaze server here. Online folks are able to understand.
Sir.
Right?
Yes.
So that's fine. If no request goes, let it be. Okay. Now what is the next transaction? Go to your test script recorder and select submit registration form. Okay, and remove this. We don't require this. I will disable this temporarily. Okay, and now I will update this as T02. Right, this is my second transaction because nothing got recorded there, isn't it? So now let me go to submit registration form, and now let me enter the username. So I'll give it as MGM IT Training. I already used 9, right? 98 I already used, isn't it? I'll use 99. Okay. And password 99. Okay. And I'm clicking on sign up now. Make sure that you selected submit registration form here. And to switch between your JMeter and browser, use Alt tab. Okay, don't use mouse for everything, particularly those who want to keep experience. Please start using these shortcuts. At least these are basic shortcuts like Alt tab, right? So these are some basic shortcuts. You need to start using it. If you are using mouse for everything, your teammates will start blackmailing you. Please remember that. Okay. Now, once I click on sign up, it is showing a confirmation message saying that sign up is successful, isn't it? So click OK. Right now, user registration is done. Okay. How do we know that user registration is done? It is not, we got a confirmation, right? Sign up successful, and that confirms that user registration is done, isn't it? Now go to your JMeter and see it if it recorded something. Observe here. It recorded some sub request. See here. API.demoblaze.com sign up. What is an API? We'll discuss that later. Okay. But you see some 2 calls over here. One is API.demoblaze.com sign up. And observe here the username and password. See, what are these guys? Those are the credentials that we entered while registration on the registration page, isn't it? So fine, by like my username is recorded as it is by JMeter. But what is this value?
Encrypted.
I entered, I gave the
Encrypted value.
password as password 99, but it recorded something UGFZ something, right? This is actually encrypted password. Your browser has encrypted that password and sent to the server. And now JMeter has no option, like whatever, goes from browser to server, JMeter has to record it. And it recorded that it is showing the same thing. Right? So I think yesterday also I have shown you in the developer tools. You remember that? I used some application, Amazon or something, I used some application, and I had shown in the developer tools, right, that the password will go in an encrypted format, isn't it? Now let me copy this. What is this? Let us understand what is this. I'll copy this, or else, let me complete the script first, recording, right? We'll do that later. We'll look into that later. And now what is the next step? Now, once you submit the registration form, I want to log in and confirm that my registration is successful. So next transaction is click login, isn't it? Now click on this login. Again, you got a pop-up. Now let's see if JMeter recorded something. JMeter did not record anything, isn't it? Disable that. We don't need this element also now, isn't it? Now our next transaction becomes T03. Login will become T03, right? Now go here and update. Observe here. Once you change any transaction name here, it will get automatically updated here, isn't it? Now click. Now let me select login transaction. Let me select login transaction. That is the transaction that I am going to do. And what is the username that I entered? MGM IT Training 99. Password is capital P small a SSWORD 99. Okay. And click on login now. Right? Now I am able to log in. I'm able to log in here. See here. I'm able to log in and I'm seeing a welcome message, isn't it? Now go to your JMeter and let's see, what did it record? Observe here. It recorded that login API. And then I entered username and password, right? See, observe here. That is recorded here, isn't it? And now what is this one? DemoBlaze application URL, some JSON, config.json, right? And then some sub request. Basically, these are all sub request, isn't it? Sub request to that main request. And see, it has sent a token here. Observe here, right? So there is some token value here. We'll see what is the token value. We'll discuss that. Okay. And now once I log in, right? What is the next transaction? Let me log out. Let me log out, right? Let me do a logout and now perform the transaction. Done. My logout is done, isn't it? Logout is done because, if you are seeing login option, that means logout is done, right? Now let us see what it recorded into logout. See, observe here, this is index.html and config.json. Some sub requests got recorded, right? Now the script is done now. Let me save it, right? Let me save it after recording the script. Say I'll rename it as, let me rename it. See, if you want to rename it, change it here. Okay, there are only 4 transactions now, right? Let me save the script and, see, observe in the recording log, something, all these requests got saved into the recording log. See, observe here. Now I told you that in the recording log, JMeter will save all these status line, response body and response headers, isn't it? Let us confirm that. Where did it save, right? What is our first request, guys? 103 is the first request, homepage URL, demoblaze.com, isn't it? And now we will see that 103, observe here, let us see the response. See here, you are seeing that response data here. See, this is nothing but your server response, isn't it? So select HTML. Okay, select HTML and you can see that, you see that this is the HTML version or this is the HTML format of that DemoBlaze application, isn't it? Browser lo చూపించినట్టు as it is గా చూపించదు ఇక్కడ. But this is nothing but your server response. Understood, guys? I also told that, it will record, your JMeter will record the response headers also, isn't it? It will save response body, response headers. This is your response body. See here, this is your response body in HTML format. If you want to see in text format, select text and this is the response body, isn't it? If you want confirmation, I want to confirm that this is the response body of demoblaze.com. How can I do that? Go to browser, go to any browser. And this is my homepage, right? demoblaze.com. Right click here and view source. Use the option called view page source, right? You see here, you see the same code here in the JMeter. See, let me show you that. Title store and undi, right? Doc type HTML language English, and then you have something called title is equal to store. Now let me show that in JMeter. You should see the same thing in the JMeter, isn't it? Doc type HTML language is equal to en, title is equal to store. This confirms that this is the response body of demoblaze.com. And where are the response headers? So you see, these are the response headers, isn't it? And response header consists of 3 parts. One is status line, isn't it? What is that status line here? See, this is the status line, HTTP 1.1.200, okay, isn't it? So you go to the response structure, and what did I tell you there? In the response structure, you will have this HTTP 1.1.200, okay, isn't it? And that is what you are seeing here, HTTP 1.1.200, okay, right? And then what are all these, the remaining headers? What is the purpose of headers, by the way?
More information.
What is the purpose of headers, sir?
Additional.
It provides the additional information.
Right. Who is that? Who answered now, just now? Who is that who answered just now?
Sir, me, sir, Sharath.
That correct only. Right. So headers are used to pass some additional information, right? So response headers are used to pass some additional information about the response. Now let us understand what is that additional information. See, observe here. Server name is Google Frontend. Means your DemoBlaze application is running on a server called Google Frontend. Okay, that is the server name. And the content type is text or HTML. I had explained some important headers. You remember that? Content type is important one, and I had highlighted that, isn't it? So content type means the response that server is sending is text or HTML format. That is in text and HTML format, isn't it? That is what it means. And server is another important response header. Connection keep alive is another important response header. And you see all those here. Okay, connection is close here. I will discuss about connection and all later on, right? But what you need to understand is these headers are used to pass some additional information about the response. These are response headers. Response headers are used to pass some additional information about the response. And where can I see the request headers? I want to see the request headers. So if you click on request tab, there you can see the request headers. See, these are the request headers. Understood, guys? Now we know JMeter recorded all these into recording.xml file, isn't it? See, into this file, user registration recording.xml. That is why this is called as recording log. Why is it called as recording log? when we recorded a script, what request went to the server, what response we got from the server, that is recorded and captured into the recording log. Then this file, that is why this file is called as a recording log. I'll stop it here, guys, for today. It's already 12:30. Any queries? So this is how you see we recorded the script now. Is it done? That's fine. We recorded a script for user registration without writing any. Did we write any code here?
No, sir.
Right? We did not write any code, but we need to know how to record the script, isn't it? That's it, right? And now like that's fine. We recorded the script. Then what is the purpose of this script then? Right.
Verify and execute it.
Right. Suppose if you want to do user registrations now, you see, we are going to automate this user registration process now with the help of a script, isn't it? Suppose you want to do one more user registration. Now, next time you are not going to do with the browser manually. Simply what you do is you go to your submit registration form, and where is that username? Here it is, MGM IT Training 99 and only, isn't it? So what I will simply do is I will update this as 100, right? And it may be in some more places. What I will do is I'll replace this MGM IT Training with, copy this value, Control C, Control F, replace this value with MGM IT Training 100 and okay, and do replace all. And observe here how many, what is that? Yeah, I'll come to that. See, observe here. I replaced that 99 with 100. Okay, just replace that and observe here. It got replaced. Did you observe that it is showing how many places it has replaced? You see here, replaced 2 occurrences, isn't it? That means in the total script, it has replaced in 2 occurrences. And where did it replace? Observe here. This is the beauty of JMeter. It is highlighting all the elements where it has replaced in red color. See, observe here. It has replaced one instance here, and another instance is here. See, you see blue color box and red color. It is highlighting the elements in blue and red color border, isn't it? So it replaced first occurrence was replaced here, and second occurrence was replaced here. See, observe here. Here also you have that username, isn't it? Now, if you replay the script, and one more thing, once you are done with the script recording, disable the recorder element. Disable the recorder element as soon as the recording is done. Clear, guys? And now observe here. Now, if you want to, see, now I am going to do user registration with the script now. Understood, guys? I am going to create a user registration or account with a script now. Let me show you that how to run the script. Okay. Now, if you want to remove this highlighting, right, go to search and reset search. Save it once. And let me now replay the script now, right? How to replay the script? You simply click on the start button, isn't it? And here, observe here, in the default template, you have another element called view results tree. We can call this as replay log. We can call this as replay log. Why? Because it will store the replay results. The script replay results will be stored into this replay log, or it will be shown here. Now let me replay the script now. Okay, I'm replaying the script now. Is it replaying? Right? Now it has replayed. Now it is replaying the script now, isn't it? Now let us see, see what did it replay? Observe here, or see in the submit registration form, what is the username that it has sent to the server? MGM IT Training 100, isn't it? Isn't it? MGM IT Training 100 is registered now because we replaced that with that username, isn't it? Because we cannot register with the same user ID, right? While recording the script, we used MGM IT Training 99, isn't it? And obviously we can't use the same username. That's why I replaced it with MGM IT Training 100. Understood, guys? Right? Now let us go to the browser and see if the user registration is done or not. Right? If user registration is done, how can we verify that user registration is successful?
Login.
Let's try to log in. Right? Let me copy that username. What is the username? It registered MGM IT Training 100. I'll simply copy paste it. Okay. MGM IT Training 100. Password is, like, see, password 99. I did not touch the password, guys. Isn't it? See, I did not update the password here. And while registration, I used password 99. I am entering the same password. And if I click on login now, Now you can see that user logged in now. What does that mean? Now script has done the user registration, isn't it? So we automated that user registration script now. Clear, guys? Now, so now suppose if you want to do 100 registrations, right? See, we did only one registration, isn't it? Suppose if you want to do 100 registrations, right? We'll see that tomorrow. So I want to do 100 registrations or 1000 registrations. I can do that with the script now without writing any single line of code, any single additional line of code, right? So we'll do that. We'll see that tomorrow. I'll stop it here for today. I think it's already 12:30 now, right? It's already more than 1 hour, right? It's 2 hours. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow, guys. Now now guys, now you understood why these are called as, performance testing tools are called as record and playback tools. You remember when I gave JMeter introduction, I mentioned that these are record and playback tools. Yes or no, guys? Now, do you agree with this statement now? Do you agree with this statement now, or is this statement clear now?
Sir.
Right. So we recorded the script and we changed the data. Of course, we need to tell the data, right? Or else, without giving the data also, you have an option. I'll show that later. Without changing the data every time, you have an option. You have a wonderful option. I'll explain that later. But this is the meaning of this record and playback feature, right? And not only JMeter, LoadRunner, JMeter, NeoLoad, or all these performance testing tools. Most of these performance testing tools are they support record and playback feature. All these performance testing tools except K6. K6 we have to write some coding. Other than that, most of these tools are record and playback tools, right? They support record and playback feature, right? And tool will generate your script, and your tool will have an option to playback. Or of course, we need to do some modifications. That is why we get these kind of salaries: 10 lakhs for 3 years experience, 5 lakhs for freshers, right? Or 55 lakhs for 10 years experience, right? So that is the reason, that is the reason we get those kind of salaries. We need to do some modifications, isn't it? It is not always record and playback, right? So we need to prepare the test data tomorrow. The script is not yet done, guys. The script is partially completed. Okay. So tomorrow we'll finish the script because, we need to make the script, register n number of users. Or if you want to create some 1000 registrations, we should be able to do that with the script, or 1 lakh registrations, right? No matter, whatever the number it is, you can do that with the help of script now. Once you automate the script, or once you create a JMeter script or a performance test script. Clear, guys? I'll stop it here for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Any queries, guys, before we close today's session? So tomorrow I'm going to explain a concept called parameterization. Okay, let me update it here. So today what did we cover? We recorded the script. The script recording is done. Tomorrow means, we'll have next session on Monday. Script recording is done, right? And tomorrow what we will do, I'm going to introduce a concept called parameterization. Okay, please don't miss Monday's session. Okay, and also I'll give an assignment in the Google Classroom. Please work on the assignment, guys. So how is the script or how is the scripting, Shravan?
Sir,
Is script recording easy or difficult or moderate?
it is easy only, sir.
Okay, so from let me pause recording. All right, guys. Any queries, guys, before we close? First of all,
Sir,
guys, any queries?
why most of the professionals use Microsoft Firefox browser to record the scripts, or why won't we use Chrome or Edge? I observed with so many professionals.
No, there is nothing like that. We can use Chrome browser also. Next script we'll do it using Chrome browser. Okay, we'll record the next script using Chrome browser. There is nothing like everyone will use. No, nothing like that. Okay, but there is a reason why I am using Chrome. See, I'll explain that later. Okay, there is a reason why I am using Chrome now. I'll explain that later. But you can record the script with Chrome browser or Edge browser or whatever your favorite browser is. Okay. So we'll
Understood.
discuss that in the next session. All right. So today we had 1 hour 45 minutes session, right?
I am from April batch. Wanted to ask you something, sir. We
Yes,
came
please.
here for DemoBlaze product scripting. We did not come up till the parameterization where we wanted to see the token using token. How
We'll
would
see
you?
that in the next session. We'll see that in the next session.
So
Or if
we
you
will
want me
join
to
again on
continue, I'll
Monday.
continue. I don't have any issue.
Okay.
Shall I continue?
Okay.
No, it will be done in 5 minutes. 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to come again on Monday if that is so. We are okay to come and join on Monday as well, but yeah, it's up to you.
No, see, it's already 2 hours,
Yeah, I understand.
It's already
yeah.
more than 1.5 hours. So these are beginners, right? Unnecessarily, they will get
I
they'll get
understand.
scared,
Yeah.
right?
If
So
we are not able to come on Monday, is it possible to have the recording for us?
yes, I'll share that definitely.
Yep. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. By the way, guys, tomorrow we are starting, Splunk and Dynatrace training, right? So this will be a weekend batch, weekend only batch. It will not be a daily batch, but it will be a weekend batch. So we have a WhatsApp group for that, and around 20 people joined that and expressed interest to join that, right? Some of my previous batch students are waiting from 1 month. So so Nikhil is one of my previous batch student. So he was my performance testing training student in 2022. Okay, and he's waiting from more than a month. And there are a couple of other people who are waiting for our Splunk and Dynatrace training from more than a month. Tomorrow we are starting that. Tomorrow is Saturday, so we are I am planning to run it as a weekend batch. Okay, so if anyone is interested, you can join that Splunk and Dynatrace weekend batch. I mentioned it here clearly. PT Splunk and Dynatrace weekend batch. Okay, so it will be from Saturday 10 to 1 or 10 to 12.
What is
Yes.
okay?
What is it? Hey, for
What
freshers,
is
it is
Splunk
not required.
and
For freshers, the Splunk and Dynatrace is not required. If you are interested to learn, you can join for demo tomorrow. No, so demo I am already having it. Sorry, so I'm already having a demo here. I share. I can I had updated in my status, WhatsApp status also. So if you want to learn or if you want to know what is Splunk, so please go through that. Please go through that demo session which is available in my WhatsApp status currently. Right? Please save my WhatsApp number to see the demo session link. All right. And I request you are, those who are interested or those who use Instagram, please follow my Insta page. If you are not using Instagram, no need, guys. Okay. So again, that is that becomes as a, another time pass thing. So if you are already using Instagram, please follow our Insta page. Okay. This is our Insta page, right? But so there is a chance that if you are not using, you are really good boys or good girls. Don't use it. It becomes a habit to watch reels and all, right? So leave it, ignore it. If you are already on Instagram, please follow our page. All right, with this, I'll close the session for today. Have a nice weekend, guys. Enjoy scripting over this weekend. Okay, welcome to the JMeter scripting world, and enjoy scripting.
Sir, still
Hey, wait, please wait. Let me take one by one. Someone, let me pause recording.